Good morning, Northeast Radio SD, Watertown, South Dakota. We're live in studio, and we've got some really special guests with us today as we're kicking off a new segment, if you will. Angie Yahne is with us. This is Vision to Reality, right? Yeah, I like that. That's really good. So you have brought your first guest, would you say?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
And it's a big one.
I'm the first.
Yeah. You got like a local, I don't know, you're kind of a local celebrity, I think. Got you on the Kello, got you traveling internationally, and you're like a secret agent, kind of.
I do try.
Of Watertown.
Just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So the infamous Sean Dempsey from Dempsey's Pub and Restaurant. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Angie, maybe set us up just a little. What StartUp Watertown? This is out of StartUp Watertown. Do you want to talk a little bit about kind of what that is and the vision of this?
Well, I think, we all go into businesses and, sometimes we never see the face behind the business. And I personally love learning about everyone's stories. If you own a business, if you're a business owner, you usually have some pretty good stories. So I love learning a little bit about the places that I'm visiting and buying and supporting. And so this is just a great way for those who are looking to get into specific industries to kind of see what they're in for, Business isn't easy, but if you can have someone to kind of mentor you and get advice from, there's plenty of people in the community that are willing to do that for you. So a little bit of what we're trying to accomplish is just to get the knowledge out there that, in this case, if you're looking to start a restaurant, these might be some of the challenges that you're facing, or, these are some of the things that you might consider if you're thinking about starting a business, because let's be honest, not all of us know what to expect getting into an industry. I didn't know what to expect, and I learned the hard way. But if I had just had someone I could kind of talk to about it, I probably would have saved myself some heartache in the short term. So, so that's kind of what it's about. It's just learning about the local business owners, what they do, and then, just the steps and the process of owning a business and everything that entails. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sean Dempsey is the first guest, and I guess we can start at the beginning. Like, are you born and raised Watertown?
I'm not. I was actually born in Yakima, Washington. I used to make the joke, that's why I talk so much, because I yak a lot. Wow. Can you edit that? I'm kidding. But no, I'm from Yakima, Washington is where I was born. My old man was a Deli Express truck driver. So he worked there for a while, and then they moved to Texas shortly after I was born. So I lived over in this little tiny town called Grape Creek until I was about 4. And then we ended up moving to Watertown.
Okay.
I actually met somebody in a Las Vegas casino who'd actually been to Grape Creek before, which is like this town of like 35 people. I thought they were in a cult for about 5 years because no one had heard of it. I couldn't find it on Google Maps, but this guy verified it existed and it wasn't a cult. But
good.
I've been here I just turned 41, so I've been here for 37 years.
Yeah.
So pretty much I'd say it's close enough.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, then, so when you moved here, did you guys start Dempsey's then right away?
Not right away. So he kind of like the Deli Express would kind of move him around, and they had I think that's the E.A. Sweeney company that owns it, and they're based out of Bloomington, Minnesota. So we were kind of he was just kind of the route guy here, and he really didn't get into the whole restaurant scene until I'd say I was about 10 or 11. And he started kind of tinkering with this idea that he was going to open this restaurant along with a brewery. And so he'd kind of been building a plan, working on making like, Mr. Beer craft brew kits at home, making just the most god awful beer known to man. But eventually he had an opportunity where there was this place called the Trader and Trapper in Fargo Moorhead. And they went out of business, and he was there doing like a sales route, and he saw it and he was like, you know what, I can, it's for auction. It's a silent bid. I'll put a bid for like 40 grand for all this brewery and restaurant equipment and see what happens. And he won.
Holy cow.
Didn't consult my mother, didn't consult anybody else, so he had to pull all their money from savings to buy this thing. Showed up a week later, with a semi equipment full of restaurant equipment and, brewery. And I think he slept outside for about a week, and then finally committed to trying to get this to get going.
Awesome.
So,
wow. And so where Dempsey's is located, that was the original place that he purchased.
That was the, so it was when we first opened in 1999, it was called the Highland Laddie. which is actually an old piping song. This is a 2/4 jig if you're curious. We had that for about 3 years. And after the third year, the business actually went out of business for about a week. We turned around, we quickly rebranded to Dempsey's Brewery Pub and Restaurant and reopened.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a fun fact. If you go into Dempsey's, you'll see like the back mirror behind the bar says Highland Laddie and Publicans Bill Dempsey. The mirror or the big glass window on the brewery itself says Highland Laddie. That was the original incarnation of the business.
Okay, very cool.
One of those learn the hard way, especially for people who've never been in a restaurant industry, start a restaurant, especially a big one.
So did you wake up when you were a youngster and say, man, I hope I'm in the restaurant industry cooking and stuff someday?
I think that was down at the bottom of my list. I think astronaut was pretty high. I thought pirate captain would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was born in the wrong age for that though. And I'm not built to swashbuckle. I think I always had some different plans. I think eventually I went to school in 2011 to be a history major at SDSU. But it turns out that I'm really good at sitting in a bar and ordering rounds. So I also hated the idea of once I got really big in history, but that job doesn't really have there's not a lot of, that you can really do with it right now, unless you're going to curate a museum or you're going to go become a teacher or something in the social services sector. So I'd always been part of the business since we opened. But it really didn't dawn on me until I left for about 3 months and then came back to say, oh man, it's ways nicer to work for yourself. I really like being my own boss. Yeah. So that's what really drove me back into it. And then it was doing pizzas and getting a bit more kind of growing with the business and becoming more inventive and getting more excited about things we could do that really started getting my passion to be like, oh man, I like this a lot. I could probably do this a bit longer. So
that's awesome.
Here we are.
So is your father still involved in the business? Or?
He is sporadically. I mean, we have to, we have a lot of scotch there. So he likes to make sure the levels never get too high or too low.
That's fair. Yeah. Someone's got to have the hard job.
He does that. He'll still like the books when we leave. Me and Jamie leave the state pretty often. So he'll come in and he'll do the books, make sure things are fine for the most part. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, he's 83 now. So he's been really, I feel he's worked his entire life. He has worked his entire life. So I feel he has. So he always has to have some kind of role in the business, whether it's discussing ideas or bouncing things off of him or just getting his opinion on things, because he's generally got really good opinions. But it's important to keep him involved in that part of it. But for day-to-day operations, no, he's not part of that anymore.
Now, is he involved? Because you have Danger Von Dempsey's too, and you have a few locations.
Yes.
What are all your locations that you have right now?
So right now we have Danger Von Dempsey's ATY, which is at the airport. We have Danger Von Dempsey's Brookings, which is at in Brookings, I suppose I kind of gave that away.
Yeah.
And then I had Danger Von Dempsey's Aberdeen, which is the first store I opened. We actually closed that in February of 2025. But there's a rumor mill going on. There might be something going on in that store here in the next couple of months.
Ooh,
so, nothing I want to break ground on. But there might be something happening down at Danger Von Dempsey's Aberdeen here real soon.
We were really hoping we were going to get the cake today.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So does he stay involved with those as well?
He does. Those are all me.
Those are all you.
I kind of like having to spin off because I mean, like when we opened the Aberdeen store, it's always kind of weird because people would come there and they'd expect Dempsey's Brewery Pub and Restaurant. They'd walk in, they'd be looking for Wiener Schnitzels, they'd be looking for cheese curds and Reubens and pastas, and we're like, no, it's a pizza place, man. We're trying to do pizza, so there's always that education curve that goes into it. But no, I try to keep that my own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in your industry, restaurants, highly volatile and everything else that comes with it, very hard to fund, all of that stuff. So what are some of the challenges you've faced since, being a business owner and working through the industry?
Oh, I like the word volatile is a nice word. It brings pleasant memories. It's just you constantly have to have constant involvement with the business. I mean, the restaurant industry is always, it's something new every day. So you never know really what you're going to be doing because things can shift like this, on a dime. So for me, it's always just been, there's a constant struggle of like trying to find staff. You've always got a really good staff.
Yeah.
Like we've got a great core at all our shops, but you're always looking for one or two people. It's being creative on demand. I feel like I feel like I don't want to call myself a creative, but I like to innovate. I like to play with things and I like to do weird stuff sometimes. So, but it kind of feels like in order to keep up with everybody, you have to constantly keep on churning out new content, new things, new items. So trying to keep the balance of new stuff along with all the heavy hitters of the old stuff. Like I took jambalaya off the menu and I think I'm still getting hell for that. So coming back, but
just needed a few more complaints. So.
Yeah, it's just trying to be innovative and kind of get in your lane and stay there and do your metric that's going to be profitable instead of doing some of the crazy stuff you want to do that's also not profitable, but that's the stuff you really live for.
And you're not doing the day-to-day, you're doing more of the high level stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing,
right?
I used to do, until about 2 years ago, I was doing day-to-day operations. And so doing that with 5 or 4 places is a nightmare.
Yeah. I was just going to say, what was your tipping point? Because I'm kind of in that same boat where I'm getting to that point of being in the process of just being able to hand it over to someone else so then I can do the high level. You can't work on your business if you're working in your business.
Exactly. That's always, I think my grandfather used to say that way back when, and of course I ignored him because what does he know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess a lot. So for me, it was a couple years ago. I was I was overseas, and I was like, we'd be there. We were on vacation, and Jamie's in there doing books, at like 3 a.m. because we're in Japan, and everything's shifted over, and I'm like fiercely typing away on my computer, and I've been drinking a bunch. So it's just like I've been having a really good time, but then we have to shift the good time to do work stuff. And then I woke up in the morning super early and start working on stuff. And I'm like, this isn't working. Like, we can't keep doing this. Like I don't mind being busy, but it's taken over my entire life. You got to have some kind of balance. So when we got back, we started saying, what can we delegate? What can we start getting me out of, not only just that part of it, but also being, a guy who runs your kitchen 3 days a week.
Yeah.
I can't be, I think it was, until for the kitchen part, even until last year, I was in the kitchen 3 days a week opening. Wow. And that's always, like it's not that big of a deal. But then you start saying, well, every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Saturday from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, I'm cemented somewhere.
Yeah.
And other places in the realm have problems that sometimes happen on Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Yeah. So it's just trying to say, like I need to be outside of this and able to help and be there in a pinch in case something goes wrong, but not, not day to day.
Yeah, absolutely. I wholeheartedly see where you're coming from. It's night and day, and I'm excited to get to the point where I can kind of hand it over and then really work on marketing or whatever else that and Absolutely. That's, one thing that you do really well is marketing and coming up with all of these fun ideas. Like I loved your gift card idea.
The Finders Keepers is awesome.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, what if we got a whole bunch of businesses together and did like a Facebook page, and then it was just like a constant scavenger hunt?
That'd be cool.
And we get people off of their phones outside into the businesses. I was like, oh, that could be so much fun.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I say most of the time it's just coming up with weird things and then looking for I think somebody told me to rip everybody off that I possibly could. For not necessarily local, but more of like if somebody's doing something you really like in New York, or someone's doing something you really like over in California. Yes. What a great idea! Steal that idea.
Rip off.
We don't gatekeep. This is these are great things. You know,
that's awesome. So how have your values shaped your business?
They've kind of progressed, and I've grown with them, I think. It's never really been about like, obviously we want to turn a profit. Obviously I want to be able to pay for my house and be able to do these things. But it's really becoming more not only about us as business owners, it's about the employees. So like one of the big things we just introduced 3 months ago was a 401k program, which I think I'm the only restaurant in town that offers a 2.5% match in a 401k, whether you're a waitress, whether you're a dishwasher, whether you're a cooker.
That's awesome.
And it's important because, you never really think about retirement until you turn, well, for me, it was until I turned 40, and I was like, oh no, what's your retirement plan? Like, I'm going to die at my desk, oh no. So, and then you start thinking about, you go through the old war stories and about people, not the old war stories, but if I was 18, I could go back and say, if I'm putting money into retirement, I'd be really good right now. I didn't. So now everyone who works for us, I'm like, you need to do this. Yeah. It costs you very little. It's going to be really good for you. Do this. So it's just, it's really about taking care of the staff and kind of growing everybody else up and bringing people up with you, because it's never really about one person. It's about the core.
I love that. Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree there. Do you find that in your industry, networking is important?
I do. It's nice to, I do a lot of the chamber after 4 events, or I try to get about as much as I can, because it's just nice for people to put a face to something. If you come to my restaurant, you have a bad meal, but you know me personally, you might be more willing to forgive me, whether if you just went to, some other place and I don't know that guy, but man, his food sucks. One of those things. I feel like you get a little bit more of a chance to kind of express who you are, and people really see you as a person, not just as a figurehead in the back of a building.
Absolutely.
Plus, people are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Most people are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some people suck, but most people are pretty cool.
Well, and complaints are complaints, but I appreciate when people bring it forward, because as an owner, you always want to know, you know, we always want to try to make it right. It's just, we have to know about it.
Yeah. And that's the worst thing is most people, if they have an issue, they say, how is everything? It's fine. A-okay. And you're like,
and then you see that review later and you're like, oh,
why didn't you say it was terrible? I could have fixed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kind of back to your pizzas, you do a lot of competitions, right? Mm-hmm. So what value does that bring to your business?
So for me, we actually started judging that on like a even as a social media metric and our sales metric. But when I first started competing, I was watching it pretty closely, and I would see every time I would even go to a competition, we'd see like anywhere from like an 8 to 10% spike in sales for that day. Just you post and all of a sudden we see a bum rush, and I was like, that's cool. But if you win, like that entire month was crazy. That month was a huge spike. So it was anytime you brought home hardware is what we always call it. So if you ever bring home hardware, it's really, really huge for us. So and for a lot of these competitions, I'm actually I'm not paying to go, I'm being sent. So like I'm getting sponsors that pay for me to go.
Heck yeah.
So that's why whenever you see me like leaving the country, like I'm going to Sweden in a month, and that one's being completely paid for by somebody else. So
cool.
Handcuff me, put me on a plane, send me over there.
Yeah.
But, it's fine. But we always see it's good for sales. And it kind of scratches the itch that I have too for competition. I like going over there, and a lot of my mentors, a lot of people that I talk to pretty regularly that are business owners aren't from around here. They're from around the country, or some of them are international. So you get so many different perspectives from people who are doing something so similar to what you do. But, they're more than willing to help you, but they're just people you just would never run into without this.
That's awesome.
So the networking part of that is also just huge.
Well, and you mentioned mentors. Mm-hmm. So you obviously have a few. What kind of a role have they played in your life and your business?
A big one. And that's kind of as a business owner too, you kind of feel like I don't sit at my bar and drink and talk to people. I don't really go out that much just because I like to kind of keep to myself sometimes. I spend most of my time working with people. So when I get home, I'm kind of like, give me 2 hours to just shut down and do my thing. And pet my cats and be happy. So, when I have problems or I just need to talk to somebody, or we are just discussing some ideas, I'll call a couple of them up and just kind of get some ideas flowing. But I think it's been, a few of them have talked me off the ledge when I've said something crazy, or I've been, like really stressed about something. Like, I've done this, we've done this before. Just take a deep breath. You're going to be all right. So it's just nice to have someone who's been there and done that, and that's, everyone should have a mentor.
It's valuable,
or two or three, just to have somebody who knows what's going on. That's not, for me, I mean, it's not like I talk to them every day, but they're there when I need them.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I wish I would have had that when I was starting my business. I think it would have helped a lot. But with startup, that's one of the things that the cohorts and the self-learning from your peers, usually someone has been through whatever you're going through as a business.
Very rarely they haven't been. There's always somebody.
There's always someone. So I think that's pretty valuable. And there's that networking piece there too, and growing your network. So what other kind of opportunities would you say have stemmed from owning a business?
Well, you get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially in the restaurant industry where people are coming through. You get a lot more, I feel like a lot more doors will open up. You see a lot more things going on from doing trade shows, from just experimenting with new things. It's just, sorry, could you repeat that?
No, yeah.
my head just went to somewhere else real quick.
No, I was just saying, what other, opportunities have stemmed from owning your business?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know why I blanked that so bad. Besides obviously meeting people and doing all that fun stuff, it's just given me the ability to kind of, I feel do more. I get to get more involved with the community. I get to get out and do more things. And it's really given me more of an opportunity to grow. Yeah. Just as a human being, from just being a guy who's trying to take care of my cats and my family, to turn around and being like, it'd be even better is taking care of more of the community and just growing this entire area up. And it kind of gave me, a good sense of purpose too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing something more, and that's always something that I think people need.
Well, and you guys do a lot of fundraisers and various other things, that's important. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So, how has that affected the community overall? You know, we do fundraisers in our cafe all the time. We love, you know, giving back. And I feel like as a business owner, the more I get into this, the more I just want to give back.
100%.
You know, and I certainly hope that a lot of businesses in town do that as well. But, you know, I feel like it really is one of your duties as a business owner. You know, people are supporting you. You need to support people.
Yeah.
So
I've never lost money giving back to people. It's always come back in kind or in karma, or, you know, just make yourself feel real good. I think we do our Pi Day promotion every year, and that one we donate like 75% of all the sales to the, you know, the Humane Society. I think this year, I think it was like $5,300 that we ended up just writing a check and giving it to them. And I'm pretty confident I can get a free cat whenever I want. Just don't tell Jamie. It's important though. I mean, like, it really is important to take care of the people who take care of you. You know, and like, it's why, I mean, anytime somebody needs a gift certificate for you know, a cancer benefit or something like that, where they need something, we're always sure. I know, you know, no questions asked. Go ahead and have one, because it just doesn't cost. I mean, it's just. It's better to give back than to just. I don't know. I suck at telling people no.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that. I'm fine being who are. You're nice, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I can live with that. I'm being that mean jerk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, for sure. Let's see what.
We go down the list.
We kind of touched on this before, you know, we started talking, but how do you stay organized in your business?
Very badly. So personally, I have a giant list that I go through. It's called my daily, that has everything I want to do in the next 3 years. And I kind of tool that. And each of that has like big subsections. So I've got one that says Brookings. I've got one that says Aberdeen. I've got one that says the pub. I've got one for the hot dog cart that has like certain things and metrics I want to check. But it's also kind of like something I review every morning and just say, I'm going to work on this, this, and this today. But the business wise, it's just, you need to plan it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to plan out like months in advance, and then you can kind of change as you get closer to those dates, but you need to have some kind of generic plan that you can kind of build off of. So I have calendars, and I have a whole lot of notes, and there's stuff in a folder, and go through them. All right, what are we doing this week? We're doing this, this, and this. All right, cool. And then, you know, every 3 months we'll do a whole quarter plan.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
you
so
need a plan.
Do you do that with your team, or do you do that just with yourself?
I do that with myself.
Yeah.
We do some stuff with the team for trying to figure out what we want to do, but I'm kind of like, it's me and Jamie are really the only big high level on what we're going to do in the overview.
Yeah.
And most of the team's been there for a long time. Like Katie's my head chef, and she's been there for 21 years.
Wow.
You know, Adam's my barmaid, my front of house manager. He's been there for 19 years.
That's awesome.
He's getting real close to 20. I should figure out when that is and get him a watch. You know, and we still discuss this when we go up to our meetings, but.
I mean, that's impressive to have employees that long.
Oh yeah,
that says a lot about you. So good.
Haven't mutinied yet.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I know, knock on wood. Well, that's wonderful that you have, you know, 3-year goals, 6-year goals. I think that's important because, you know, just going through the daily without, you know, something to look forward to in the future or something to plan for, you're just going about doing the same thing over and over again and not really growing your business per se.
I mean, the other thing we do is I do like a monthly recap every month, and then you go back and you can see what you did in July 25 to July 24. You have notes that say we had a really good month, we had this happen or this happened. And for us, I think that my metric in June was, or the note I had was T&L canceled 3 times. Stupid weather.
Oh my
gosh. A bunch of
gosh.
exclamations.
Yes.
There's things like that. You can look at your sales, and you can look at your numbers and say, here's some big things that happened. Here's some little things that happened. What should you try for better next month?
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And, you know, you guys do some events and things. Do you guys have anything coming up in the future here?
We've got a few things going on. I know I want to do some kind of smaller Oktoberfest party. I like the WBC party they have outside, so I don't want to mess with that because that's pretty cool. But I think we're going to collaborate with them on some stuff. I've got a few things going on for halfway to St. Patty's Day festival. And then we do a lot of like our different pizza things. But the pub's kind of moved on from like we talked about doing like dinners or doing more like live music. But shoot, we're busy.
Yeah,
and
that's great. Yeah,
that was one thing that when we first started doing, we were doing like comedy nights, and we were doing like trivia nights and stuff like that. We started getting to the point where we didn't need it. It just became detrimental to the business. So That store is not very big into doing events, but like the airport does trivia every Friday, which is our biggest day by a mile.
Yeah, that's
Pack the terminal.
good things about that.
Yeah, it gets wild. You have people in the upstairs shouting down answers. It's a little ruckus, but it is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So where do you see your business going, or what are your long-term goals with your businesses?
Well, I want to grow. So like with Dempsey's Brewery Pub and Restaurant is kind of a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
It's been around for 26 years. We're a landmark business here. We've been here for a long time, and it's really hard to change it too dramatically just because of what it is. I can't like rip out the walls and redo all the. I can't change it too much, I should say.
Mhm.
So I always feel we're kind of stuck with what we do. We're always going to have a Wiener Schnitzel on the menu. We're always going to have.
You need that nostalgia.
Yeah, people like coming in there and seeing all the flags flying and all the stuff. So it's really hard to really mess with that one too much. But the Danger on Dempsey brand is one we're trying to grow out a bit more, and that's the one that, if something happens at Aberdeen in the next month or two, not saying it will,
Mm-hmm.
but we're also trying to get into Sioux Falls and expand that market.
So, are you thinking about going the franchise route at all?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not really
not thinking hard.
not thinking hard, but it's on the list. I think it'd be a lot easier to sort out and manage
Mhm.
that way, and just instead of having to maybe even when we had all 4 locations, I found myself driving. Like on Tuesdays I go to Aberdeen, on Thursdays I go to Brookings, on Wednesdays I'd be at the airport store, and then I spend the other 3 days in Watertown, and I just kind of didn't have any. Kind of hard to leave and kind of hard to do my own thing. So
Mhm.
I think the franchise model would be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's one thing I'm facing right now too with multiple locations we're just about to hire a regional manager, which is
nice.
ideal.
Real nice.
That person can go and drive and be that guy, and then I can kind of focus in on the goals and the big picture, and having that person is. I agree. I feel like I'm just like running back and forth some
so
days.
close. We're about to hire this regional manager. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, we were right at that cusp. We were about to hire someone. We were like, we need like one more thing to get right. Then we'll get a regional or a district manager and have them just run around. And that'll be me. And they'll keep brand standards to make sure everything's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want to get to that point too, along with just expansion. I want to see us go from I've had 4 stores now for 6 years. And so I want to see that almost double in the next 6 years. I figure like it's not store 1 isn't the problem. It's getting like store 2 and 3 sort of. Once those are like running efficiently and you see them like positive growth, and you're seeing it like be able to live without you. You maximize your profits. You say, all right, let's get crazy.
Yeah,
I just don't want to lose my house.
that's important too.
Always in the back of your head.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't covered. You have any questions for him, Steve?
I was kind of curious when you had mentioned being you have a hard time saying no.
I do have a hard time saying no.
So it made me think.
He's like, I'm going to ask you a question right now.
Well,
so you can't say no.
Well, this was something I kind of struggled with in management sometimes, but like staff accountability and like confrontation when you have to come down on somebody or something. How do you deal with that kind of stuff?
I get real mad first. That helps. No, it's tough. I mean, we now have a policy where it's 2 people go and talk to the employer, the person you need to confront about whatever they're doing. So, mentally I kind of psych myself up for it. I kind of go through and I try to be pretty cool, but usually if I happen to have a conversation with someone being stupid and they know they probably shouldn't have been doing something like that. So you kind of already got them dead to rights. So I always feel as long as I can justify it, it's fine.
Mhm.
It's just kind of like, all right, sit down, and then I find it's really easy. Like once you have to have that talk, you have to have that talk like ASAP, because otherwise you're going to sit and stew on it and dwell on it, and maybe you'll kick it down the road, but it's important to do it right then. But I'll just psych myself up and maybe get a little angry and go in there and we'll start having this conversation. I'll plan for like, what happens if they come at me with a steak knife? What happens if they start throwing things? What happens if they start crying?
Yeah.
No one's stabbed me. Everything else has happened. No one's pulled a steak knife on me yet. But,
thank goodness.
It's not my favorite part of the job for sure, but it's an important one you have to have because people have to respect you and people have to do what you say. Otherwise, they're not really working for you. They're working for themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you've got a couple employees that have been there for 20 years roughly. So like, how do you feel you've maintained that partnership for such a long time without button heads?
Heavy guilt.
Yeah.
No, I say we meshed pretty well, and most of them, like Katie's been with me for a very, very long time. And like with my old man still, being around for a chunk of it. My mother's was in the business until 2016 baking. So, I mean, we all, like, it's almost like family at that point. I always feel really, really weird saying that. Like, we're family. And you're like, no, you pay me. My family doesn't pay me. But it kind of feels like you've been around them for so long and you can't really picture them, without them. And so it's just making sure you're taking care of them. And, we butt heads, but it's usually not too bad. We've had a couple shouting matches, but they usually end, the next day with, I'm sorry, I was a jerk. All right, no worries. So just being accountable and making sure you know when you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like we used to, I think I used to leave when I first started doing pizza stuff, and the line would put up a dartboard and they had a picture of me on the dartboard and they threw darts at it because everyone would have to work double shifts while I was gone.
Oh, shoot.
Back in the early stages of me traveling and competing, it was like I was still working the line 40 to 50 hours a week. So when I left, everyone had to pick up the slack. And then I'd come back and we would be like, we always call them a murder shift because then he'd be like, well, you're back. You're not working for open to closes.
Oh, great.
How was the trip?
What I love to do coming back. Well, and I feel like you prepare. So I don't know. This is what it's like for me. You prepare to go on a vacation. You're rushing up till like the final day. You fly out. You're kind of still working on vacation, and then you come home to like this mess of all these emails, and then it's more work when you get back. Sometimes it feels like it's almost too much work to take a vacation.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite part about business then?
For me, it's the creativity of playing in the kitchen. For my particular business. So it's being able to get in there and kind of do my own thing and come up with ideas and be innovative and be creative. On the outside thing, it would be just being able to grow it. It's such a fun itch to scratch, to be like we took one thing and we turned it into two things. Now it's four things. And it's just being able to, I got some pride every time I see the Dempsey's logo somewhere, or I see that. I'm like, that was me. I put that there. Like our team put this here. We made this happen out of nothing. So it's just seeing it grow is so cool. I like getting my hands dirty and playing with pizza and playing with ingredients and doing weird stuff. But I really like to see it grow.
Do you ever find yourself walking down the street and people know who you are?
Yes, all the time. It's awful.
And then you're like, oh gosh, I don't know who you are.
Step one, don't walk down the street.
Yeah.
I get that in like if I'm in like Sioux Falls, I always run into a couple of people I know. No matter, it's usually if I'm around in this area, or at least in this side of the city, I always run into at least two people who know me, which is always super weird. I was like, oh, hey, man, what's up? Hey, good to see you. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. Keep on keeping on, I suppose. Yeah. Congratulations. Like, okay.
Yeah, thanks.
What did I do? But
do you have any partnerships at all with either, people in the community, other businesses, where you guys work together on things, all business or anything like that?
Not really. Not in the local community. I do, I'm an ambassador for the California Cheese Program.
Oh, cool.
So I just got that deal signed. And then I also have a partnership with our food company, Performance.
Nice.
But that's also part of they help send me to places. So, cool. But locally, I just kind of, I'd say we like to collaborate with people. We've got some stuff coming up with WBC. It would be kind of cool to see come out.
Nice.
But, yeah.
And then, so the restaurant owners in town, do you have relationships with any of the restaurant
We all know
owners?
each other.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in the industry, you all kind of
I'd say it's the call, can I get a case of fries? Can I borrow a thing of fryer oil? We get along for the most part pretty well. I'd say the same with most bar owners, so most brewery owners, most restaurants. If you don't get along with the other restaurant, they're a giant jerk. Or hopefully you're not the giant jerk, but it's for the most part. It's a pretty meaty bone. There's enough room for everybody, and we recommend places to people when they come into the pub too. Because I'm here for a week. Great, I'm glad you're here. Check out these three places too, because you can't eat here every day. Yeah, and it's important to see other things and compare and contrast.
Yeah, and sometimes it's nice to be able to talk to someone and be like, hey, it's sales have been a little light lately. What are you seeing? And then just kind of do some comparisons. I'll ask my supplier too. I'm like, hey, what's the industry doing right now? Or, it's nice to have a pulse on some of those things. So then you're not just like sitting there wondering like, is it me? Or is it, the economics of what's happening in the world? Yeah. Or, I
should start a local restaurant alliance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, we don't even have a lot of places have like a food kind of Facebook page, like in and around Brookings, or, Sioux Falls has several. I don't think Watertown has one at
Yeah, I
all.
haven't seen it in and around Watertown.
Yeah.
I've seen the Brookings ones.
Yeah. So
And the Aberdeen ones.
there's opportunities there.
Opportunity right there.
Opportunity.
For whoever wants to take it.
Yeah, I know.
Get on that
I don't
horse
know
right
if I have
now.
time for that, but
Put
someone
it on the
might.
list.
Yep,
Put it down there, see if
put it on the
grows.
list. So awesome. Do you have any businesses that you maybe admire, or business owners that you admire or look up to?
Oh, absolutely. Tons of them. In town, I'd say probably Kyle Allen's new place, the local. I love the ability of coming in and just kind of like doing a seasonal menu and doing he's doing a Greek one that's really cool right now.
Yep.
We did on Wednesday. It was wonderful. But it was like I like that you can kind of be like, we're going to sit down. We're going to, him and Chef Robert are going to sit down and sort out this menu that's going to be all hyper focused on one region. They're going to take their time to get it crafted. Then they're going to release it. It's going to run for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they scrap it. And then 2 months later, they have something new come out.
I know.
That's so cool.
I love that too, because then, you go in one time, it's one menu, you go in another time, it's a different menu. It's an easy way to change it up. And then you can move with the seasonality.
Yeah, and I feel like for especially for your kitchen staff and your service staff, you don't get burned out doing the same thing repetitive. I mean, that's kind of the biggest issue in our industry is repetitiveness and being burned out from, yes, you cook chicken strips and I made a cheeseburger today. Hooray. There's nothing really inventive about it. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. They get to do that. Labbies, of course, they do all they're really big into giving back. So I think what Brittany's done to that business has really transformed it and done a lot of good things. So I like their social media page and a lot of the content they put out. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of the local restaurants do some really great work around here. They all pitch in and give back, and it's fun to talk to all the owners and see all the creativity that this town has. So it's wonderful. Let's see.
even the Tropical Fun Smoothie place, that place has got some pretty good
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We're doing some marketing things, and I got some free smoothies for a year card. So we're going to be doing some
here.
fun stuff.
Oh, I thought you were offering.
Yeah. Just
I'll take one of those cards.
Make it
Make it
rain.
rain. Get the cash going with free smoothies for a year. Yes, I'm in.
The shooter gun thing.
I'd like to do 3 of these, please.
Yeah.
What do you 3 of them?
Oh, and we haven't even touched on, you guys do some work with the Shamrocks too, right?
Yep, that's right. We do. I suppose we have. We just so I actually we re-inked the deal yesterday. So we'll be back there for season 3. This will be our second year doing it with our pizzas upstairs on the second floor. We've got the sponsorship one there, so we'll have the logo on the helmet, which is really cool.
Nice.
And then we also, so they have the Puck Luck Lodge, which is now going to be rebranded as the Dempsey's Puck Luck Lodge.
Heck
So
yes.
they're great people to work with.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely. I love
Just
watching
like
those
hockey.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got season tickets, a second, not on the glass, but right above it. I mean, I think we were always I was disappointed, but Jamie was heartbroken when she realized we had these season tickets and they're so close. And we want to go to every game. And no, we're working on the second floor selling pizzas. It's just like, I want to watch the game. I don't want to work.
I know.
Once we get somebody, we'll fix it,
Yeah. It was funny when they first brought the Shamrocks in, they had those kind of preseason games, and it was Watertown versus Aberdeen. And there was this redheaded kid on the Aberdeen team, and he was just egging the crowd on. And it came down to like triple overtime. And this kid was the kid who has to shoot the last shot. And he makes it in.
What a jerk.
Everyone's booing and he's blowing kisses
Yep,
to the crowd. I'm like, I'm just so there for the theatrics. I
Right?
love
Give me my
it.
bag of popcorn and like what a Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
My kid went home and he's like, "Dear diary, best day ever."
Ever.
Yeah.
Probably never going to Watertown again though.
Yeah.
Mob in the streets. Yeah, a few of them fly through Watertown pretty often. So we always have when you're running Secure Bar in the morning, you can see them, a few of them pop in and
Yeah.
tell
Well,
them had a great game.
and you have kind of a cool location out there too, because you serve not only the secure side of things, but you have, like you said, the kind of restaurant area that you guys do the everything else in there. And that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, Sam, we just launched the new website for our ghost kitchen, Logan and Woodward.
Oh, wait, I forgot to
Yeah.
ask about that too.
So yeah, we got a ghost kitchen called Logan and Woodward that so Dave Sullivan, he's my GM out there, and Gunnar Goodell is also is probably my main cook out there. And so they were playing around with this idea of doing Chicago Tavern and Detroit style squared pizzas out there. And so we talked about doing a ghost kitchen because that was such a big thing when COVID happened, is just creating. Do you know what a ghost kitchen is?
Yeah.
You do, but I'll explain to any of the listeners. So a ghost kitchen is basically, you've got a whole other menu, whole different idea, concept, but it's cooked in the same kitchen. So like for DVD's ATY, they have a DVD's ATY menu, and there's a Logan and Woodward menu that's completely different. Everything's different minus the Pepsi, I suppose.
Mhm.
Drinks are the same, but
Yeah.
but then you have two different things going on. So for us, we have like New York style pizzas that we do at ATY. And then for Logan and Woodward, they're different website, different menu, different everything, but they do, multiple different styles of pizzas, different, toppings, different ideas, but most of it's Dave's brainchild. So you see a lot of weird, funky stuff happening out there.
And you can only get that out there.
Yeah, but you can only get it at ATY.
Yep. Awesome.
And so they now, I think you get it delivered. You can come pick it up now.
Right.
So it's been doing really well, but it's now starting to get bigger for us. So it's a good thing, but it's a fun concept to see it grow. And that's another part about growing people, because I mean, they took this concept that I don't know how else they would have gotten it off the ground at that store and just said, we want to do this. All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Grow your people.
Well, and I think too, for some of those people who are, looking to start restaurants and things, that might be an additional option for them if they had a partner,
100%.
make it a little more feasible. We have two in one, essentially. So I kind of stumbled across that. Was it Mr. Beast was doing something?
He's got one in Perkins, Mr. Beast burgers.
I was like, I have never heard of this. And then I did more research on it and I was like, oh, I see what's going on. Because I was like, where is this located,
Yeah, we get DoorDash drivers that are like, what is this? It's over here. It's fine. It's the same place. No worries. Yeah. It's also kind of cool because with the idea of a ghost kitchen, we call them a ghost kitchen concept, because if we did one and it just like didn't work, it's just like nobody wants any of this stuff. I mean, your investment cost is just the recipes, your time, the ingredients. You didn't put down a 10-year lease. You didn't put down all this money. Just you tried it. People didn't like it. Didn't respond well. You learned some stuff. Take it to the next one. Yeah. Because our goal for even Logan and Woodward is to get it. Like we want to eventually turn into a brick and mortar. And then get that out of the airport and then do something different at the airport and constantly keep cycling ideas through.
Such a great idea. I love that.
It's on the list. It's a big list though. Keeps growing.
Like a scroll, maybe?
Yeah. So now we're getting to the yield. Yeah. Proclaim.
That's awesome.
Awful.
Do you have any kind of succession plan? Have you thought of anything like that? Selling it or I don't know.
So I'm 41 now, right? Jamie's 40. I shouldn't have said that. Jamie's very youthful.
Gonna be happy about that.
Well, I'm dead. So nice. I hope good fitting last one.
Famous last words.
Yeah. It's tough because I mean, like with the pub, I inherited it from Bill and Lynn. I should say, well, they're still very much around. So, but I took control, and I don't really have a good one yet. That's a huge issue that I've been thinking about more and more as I get older. Is I'm like, well, we're building this. I want to grow. I want to expand. I want to start expanding this and doing more. But I'm kind of like, well, what happens in 10 years or 20 years or 30 years? Like when I start getting to the point where I can't go hack it on the line, I can't go keep doing this, or I'm just not able to, like, well, what happens in the store? So, I mean, it's going to come down to, whether we have to, eventually sell it to someone, or we have to just, I should probably get on having a kid. That would be a little bit easier, I think, but I don't know.
An heir to the throne.
Heir to the throne. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there, when you talked a little bit about franchising, but when you have, you can have it set up where you have other locations and you have like your district manager or whatever, and then eventually you just kind of sit back and
mailbox money.
Yeah, collect your money, and then I don't know, maybe you don't donate it all or something or put it all in your casket if you want.
Yeah, it's actually great getting coins. I like coins, but I want like a weird foreign currency, like I don't know, like a kroner, like a Swedish kroner. Buried in Swedish kroner. That'd be so weird. No.
Or like you've seen places that do like an employee stock option.
Yep, that's what
he's at. Relinquish it to them after a certain time, and it's kind of employee owned or something.
Yeah,
but
it's a really good idea too.
Yeah, I don't know.
As we talk about my mortality, we got real deep real quick. When you're dead, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
You work so hard as a business owner that eventually that's that's one of the goals, right? Is to be well enough that you can eventually leave the business and do something new if you want, or just do you. I feel like one of my goals is that we've talked about is eventually maybe we just sell everything and travel the country for like a year or two until we're sick of it, and then
start something new.
Yep. Or maybe not even sell, because I'll have a regional manager. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we'll just, you can do it all remote or whatever. But yeah, I know that's one of the goals I think about. I'm like, I work so hard. I need to have like an end goal to like look forward to, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I said I'm able to get out pretty often, which is nice. I'm able to actually leave pretty often. I haven't had to come back and work murders every day once I get back.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I said it's a good goal.
Well, I have a couple kids and they want nothing to do with any of this kind of stuff at all. And so I
just wait it out. I mean, they'll turn it around.
Well, I wonder, but I thought of it too. Like, okay, so if they don't, they said they just want money. And I'm like, well, okay, but how does that work? You know, like you guys aren't going to help with anything or do anything or want to take it over. So we just sell it and then say, here you go.
Yeah.
You know, and there's your check.
Sounds like good for them. Yeah, that's great.
You know, it's like, good. Wow. Okay.
Do you remember that story about that? Was it the old kids book about like the hen that was making like something? She was making like cookies, and none of the other farm animals would help her like mill the grain or you know like knead the dough or cook it in the oven. But at the end, she pulls out this big old thing of cookies. And who wants a cookie? And everybody wants a cookie, but nobody helps.
Yep.
You know, it says like oh.
Yeah, I like that. I forgot all about that little.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Now I'm kind of picturing it a little bit in my head.
Vaguely remember the 12-page book. You know, if you give a moose a muffin, if you give a mouse a cookie. I don't remember the name of that particular novel.
So what would you what advice would you give someone who's looking to start a restaurant?
I would say find a mentor in the restaurant industry. Really do your homework. Know that it's going to be a challenge and there's going to be a lot of pitfalls in there, but a lot of rewards too. But I mean, I make sure that you know what you're doing, at least in the sense of recipe development. You know, like your operations, your systems are important, but knowing you have a quality product that you can sell that's going to be good, and finding somebody that you know has been through there and done it, so you can avoid things like don't sign a 10-year lease immediately if it's your first gig.
Yes.
You know, as you said, common pitfalls that everyone makes their first time out if they don't know.
Yep.
You know, and it's a scary time for a restaurant just because I mean, it's for example, if you're buying food from one of the big providers, there's different there's different tiers for if you're been a customer for 5 years, if you've been a customer for 10 years, if you're just off the street, you're brand new, where they have different pricing structures based on that. And so it's things if you don't know, you're going to immediately fall into just, the guy from, you know, blank food company is my best friend. He's going to give me the best deals. And they find out 3 years later, you've been getting hosed the entire time on everything. You know, so I mean, getting systems into place, knowing your pricing, having a really good business plan, and having a mentor, just calling a local restaurant. Like if somebody wants to call me and say, "Hey, I'm going to open up a new restaurant. Can you read over my business plan and give me some advice?" Like, yeah, we'll sit down at the pub and have a pint and sort it out. You know, be happy to. But yeah, just having someone that's done it before and talking to them is invaluable.
Yeah. Well, and then, you know, there's long hours too. Not everyone can.
What are you doing today? I don't know. What am I doing today?
You're
washing dishes. Yeah. It's in the first, and then the first like 5 years, you're doing nothing but working.
Yes.
Like if you're lucky, maybe you get out for a few, but I mean, like you always have to, you're the one putting in the sweat and the tears into it. You have to, I always thought it was odd that, you know, like, I find that we have really good days. When we have really good days, I'm super energized. I'm super excited about it. Wow, we just had a killer day. Everything went perfect. The best day ever. And then we have like a really slow day, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Everything's ruined.
What am I doing wrong? What, you know, all the things run through your head.
Just constant emotional roller coaster. I think the term's volatile. I think you said. A delicious, tasty word, volatile. You know, but it's very rewarding. I mean, it's especially in the industry, it's very rewarding once you get into it. But you're always going to have those days that are awful. You know, and you just have to be able to manage them.
Well, and I think one of the positive things, you know, if you look at various businesses, is, you know, you get paid immediately.
Yeah.
Not all the businesses can say that, right? Usually there's a net XYZ. So that is one positive that I see is, you know, once you open, you're going to have this influx of customers, and, you know, ideally it's a big opening and that lasts for, you know, quite a while. And hopefully that builds up, you know, some cash and whatnot, but it's in your bank account.
Yeah. I'd say usually next day or the day after, you at least say, you know, I've got a little bit of savings now. I have a lot more savings thanks to our, you know, our 3 or 4 month honeymoon period.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The net 30, net 60 waiting on customer X to pay you, waiting until the 31st day when you hit on the 29th day.
Yes. Yes. I'm thankful we don't have to worry about that. So,
you mentioned earlier that, which I didn't know, but you have some siblings.
I do.
So they're not interested in the restaurant world?
Oh God, no. Intelligent creatures, those ones. No. So I've got two older sisters. One's my sister Tara, who's in Minneapolis. I'm actually going to go up there on Friday and see her. And she is a drafter for an architect firm over in the old Grain Belt building.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool. Yeah. So I was like, she's in that. I'm like, can I get a tour? She's like, it's just offices. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to go outside, peek my head around. So, and then actually, I think I get a lot of my traveling bug from my sister Paige, who's flying. Coincidentally, she was in Albania for 3 months. I was in Albania. I went and visited her. I was in Italy for a competition, and then it's a $32 flight from Napoli to Tirana. So I actually flew over there and hung out with her for 3 or 4 days.
Oh,
and toured with her. But she's always been one of those people that likes to. She'll work for 6 months and then she'll travel for 6 months. So she'll go work at like her big one was always Sun Valley, Idaho, the ski resort, or the chalet in Vermont. But it'd be work for 6 months. They pay for your room. They pay for your board. They pay for, you don't have to pay for food. So you just sit there and you just bank money the entire time until you get enough. And then you just go backpack Europe, go backpack South America, just go find really reasonable places just to go and live. So coincidentally, Albania is very affordable.
Yeah.
And it's a great country.
I was looking at pictures and I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow, this looks like, Greece almost.
Not what I expected.
I was shocked when I saw some pictures.
Everyone wants to rent you a car, which is wild. But yeah, it's just it's a fun, beautiful country. But yeah, she does that. So then she'll come back for X amount of time. And then when she wants it, she gets a win. She goes back on her traveling thing. Mm-hmm. And she's been doing it for her entire life. And she's 40. I'm going to say she's 49. Definitely not older.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely not 6 years older.
Wow.
Be terrible.
That sounds like a great career.
Yeah, she's been doing that her entire life. So she's got really good at finding like discount flights and how to get around. So she's really inspired me to do kind of the same thing. So we always have this little she officially took over. She went to North Macedon about a week ago on just a bus ride. But she was able to say, I've now been to 37 countries. And I'm on 36 countries. So
it's a competition.
It's a competition, yeah. So we've been kind of going back and forth, and I had the lead until last week. So she broke away. So got to go somewhere new to get that fridge magnet, go and get one more on the list.
That's so funny.
Do you get a magnet each time?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to. I think when I first started traveling, I'd go to the souvenir shops and get pins and like some stupid plate that said Rome on it. And now I've got I still do the pins. I've got a giant traveling hat that has pins from everywhere I've been. And it needs to be 2 because I've got 40 ones. I've got to put on a new one because the other hat's covered. So I get those and I get flags.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of flags. If you go to any of my restaurants, you'll see flags everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Do you know as much as Sheldon does about flags? I think he had on the Big Bang Theory. He even had his own little podcast about flags.
I know a lot of them. When I was a kid, that was one thing I used to do. Is I'd go to an encyclopedia and copy flags and trace them out and then draw them, color them. So I can tell a good chunk of them.
Wow.
So not enough to start a podcast on, but I'm pretty good at flags.
I wonder where the passion for flags came from.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's unique.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of. Yes, I've never really thought about it. Just no.
Yeah,
I like languages and I like flags.
That's awesome.
Languages? Do you know other? Are you bilingual?
So I can speak German.
Yeah.
Most of my relatives that live I've always got a ton of relatives that live in northern Austria and Oberösterreich. So I travel up there about once a year and go visit them. They live in this little town called Peuerbach or Nordernbach, between the two. And there's these tiny little villages way up north, closer to the Czechia border. And they speak pretty good English. A couple of them don't at all. So it was a really, and I'm Austrian and Irish. So my roots are there. So it's a really, really fun language to speak. So I spent 10 years trying to get that sorted out. So I'm good now on that one. And then with the constant trips to Italy, I've been working on my Italian enough. So now it's pretty broken, but it's enough where I can conjugate and I can order things. I can talk to people. Mm-hmm. My Italian's better than expected. My French is terrible, but I'm working on that too.
Yeah.
Because now I'm starting to do some competitions up in Montreal and up in Toronto. So it's I think part of the reason, even when I went to Italy this year and won, I think half the reason I won is because I presented it completely in Italian.
Wow, cool.
Which they don't expect at all. They see you as they're just like, oh,
American.
You speak, yeah, I speak English. What you want, and you break it down in Italian. They're like, wow, that's really cool. They're like, wow. I think the guy told me my Italian was terrible. He was still happy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So they always appreciate it. I always like the conjugation. So yeah, it's I can speak German. My English is pretty good. My Italian's passable. My French is terrible, but I'm working on it. And like I'll be in Sweden in on September 15th, Norway on the 17th, and then I'll be in Denmark on like the 24th, I think. And like whenever I go to a different country, I try to learn at least the niceties. I try to learn like hello, goodbye. How do I get an Aperol spritz? You know, like the important things. You know, just enough to be polite.
That's awesome. And you know, we kind of didn't even touch on like your brewery piece. You know, how's that going, and how involved are you in the brewing side of things?
So I'm currently the brewer.
Okay.
So it's the brewery's doing fine. We actually part of the reason the Aberdeen store closed is because the brewery broke for 6 months. We had a really bad during February 2025. We had reopened for lunches in Aberdeen, but at the same time, the city shut down the main street. So I
remember that
they were shut down for 4.5 months during our busy season.
Oof.
Whoa.
And then when I think they reopened in the middle of September, and then in August the brewery broke in Watertown. Just the hoods came off, sheared off a bunch of beer lines, and we were down for 6 months. With insurance waiting because it was a $30,000 piece that we had to put in there. So we're waiting on insurance, waiting on the equipment. So that went down, and then in January our oven went down in Brookings. So we had to hire an expert to come and do that for 3 weeks. We were just closed. So just everything went wrong in a very short amount of time. And we own, you know, we own the Watertown store, we own the Aberdeen store. So just something had to break, you know, and it sucked to make that decision. But you had to, you know, something had to give, and you're like, we're going to close the Aberdeen store, but you know, we're just going to sit on it. Maybe we sell it and it happens. If it doesn't, maybe we do something else with it. But it's just, tough decisions to make. But yeah, that's what had to happen.
Well, and that's the business owner thing. There's some days you can be way up here, and then the next day it's just like everything hits the fan, and then you feel like you're down here, and all you can do is just go up from there.
Yep. Yeah.
Just work on it. And I mean, that's all you can do is just try. So, and I mean, you guys are doing fabulous. You know, it's awesome. Every time we eat there, the service is great, the food's great. Like,
thank you.
You know, when I'm talking to people that are new coming to town, I'm like, you got to check out Dempsey's. Like, you got to try it out. It's kind of a legendary pizza place, and every single time I send them their, you know, your way, they have just fabulous things to say.
We actually had people coming in. So we had that Kellen article that posted a couple days ago, or yesterday, sorry. And then we actually had people call the store who were on their way to, I didn't realize WeFest was still going on. But it's a thing still, which is great. But they were driving from Sioux Falls to WeFest. They were like, oh, we're going to stop in and grab a pie because we just saw the article. We're like, we're going to be there. And we had some old lady who spent 20 minutes on the phone asking about the Brookings store because she lived in Brookings, but she'd never been. It was the same pizzas, and Jamie was working the bar. So she was kind enough to walk her through the, you know, what it was and how it works and how to get there. And eventually, here's the phone number. I'm sure they'd love to talk to you, which is fine. But
it's funny. Some people, they really need instructions on, you know, they're so hesitant to like go into a new place, and they're like, just tell me what I need to do. But, well, you know, I think we're getting close to today's end of the session. You know, is there anything you want to leave our audience with?
Just that I'm grateful to be here after 26 years, still in the driver's seat, still doing all the fun things I get to do. I'm grateful I get to travel and see all these things and compete in high-level international events, which is wild. And most people don't get the chance to do that. So very cool. And yeah, it's that anyone that's ever interested in starting a restaurant or even just dabbling in it, I mean, feel free to look me up and reach out. I'm more than happy to help.
Wonderful.
I love the creativity and playing with numbers and seeing what makes sense. And just, I really hate watching people struggle on things they don't have to struggle on, you know, and it's just, it's really, I think I was doing a little bit of a mentorship at LATC where they had a business class, and they just had people bring me their business proposal. And I looked at it and I was like, how do you think this is going to work? Oh no, not with LATC, sorry, with SDRA.
Oh, okay.
We were doing the classes, and you have like, it's so cool because you see these kids come up with these ideas for like, I'm going to make this shop. It's going to have like 3 floors. One of them is going to be a dance club. One's going to be an Italian restaurant. You know, one underneath is going to serve not adult beverages, but it's going to look a real lot like it. But there's no staircase. There's no elevator to get you up there. It's a Sims death trap where just like everybody dies, you know, or they're serving high end escargot on one floor, and the next floor they're serving like chicken wings and like the other one's serving
barbecue.
We've got a grill and we got a fryer. So how are you going to escargot? You know, like
you haven't looked it up, have you?
It's so cool to see the different ideas because I mean these kids are pumping out just ridiculously creative, awesome ideas and seeing like ProStarts, the program, and it's a cool program they do to really excite kids about this. And I wish I had when I was a kid, but it's fun just to be able to look at them and kind of pick them apart, be like, hey, let me give you some advice on this. Here's what you should do. And they generally take it pretty well, but I love stuff like that. So yeah, if anyone ever wants to reach out, feel free.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, I'm just happy to be guest number one.
Yeah.
Whoever always referred to as the original OG guest.
The
Andrew
OG.
Dempsey. Tell your friends. Don't tell your friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. The name of this podcast is not volatile.
Vision to volatile.
Vision to volatile.
Yeah.
No, well, thank you for coming. Appreciate it, because you are a wealth of knowledge, and I think a lot of people in the community know you, but they might not know you. And now they know a little
Now
more.
they know you.
Now they know me. Now they know that I said that joke about Yakima.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll probably come back to bite you eventually.
Not as bad as me saying Jamie was not 22 anymore.
Yeah.
Oofda.
That's my phone's in airplane mode. I'm sure when I take it off airplane mode, she's like, "Come and find me." I'm like, "Oh God."
Oh, there you go.
This is it.
Awesome. Okay, so Angie, you're maybe monthly. We'll find out for sure, right? You're thinking, okay.
Yep.
And then we'll announce the next guest. So follow Startup Watertown.
Yep.
And well, what else do you want to throw out there for startup? Anything?
Well, we're in the process of, getting everything set up, 501c3 sorted and whatnot. We were grappling between C4 or C3 for a while there, but I think we got this figured out. So now that we got that figured out, the podcast was kind of my next step and kind of getting that sorted. And, again, like you said, we're going to do kind of monthly on that. But everything that we're doing, I post on our startup Facebook page and LinkedIn. So tune into those places, and all of our updates we'll put out in that way. We're hoping to be fully operational by the end of this year is the goal. So,
Okay, perfect. So if you have any questions, check out the page and just reach out from there.
Absolutely.
And if you want to start a restaurant, maybe Sean will help you get it going or talk you out of it if it's
Talk you out of it. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
well, depending on what you want to sell, ketchup popsicles or something, maybe that's not a good idea. But
Escargot is maybe not the way to go, but
Yeah.
for sure.
very good. Well,
Really
thank you both for coming in. Appreciate you guys coming in and using us to help get this information out, and look forward to the next one. So
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. We'll go back to some music here on Northeast Radio SD.
Cheers.